We are. Woo! So, we're itchy. What's up? Your boyfriend's dressing like a girl?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My boyfriend Antonio is dressing like a girl. We're on here just to talk about it.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, it's live?
Yeah, it's been live for like a minute.
What do we want to talk about? Well, really, what do you want to say? Because you're the one who decided you wanted to do that. You wanted to dress like a girl.
That I'm a flaming faggot. That's what. No, just, I guess I wanted to come on here and ask you some questions about how that makes you feel after I say how it makes me feel, I guess.
Yeah.
How does it make me feel? Why am I doing it?
Yeah, why are you doing it?
Because I'm a flaming faggot, I told you.
No. Give an actual explanation as to why.
Because my soul doesn't have a gender. So when I was tripping balls on mushrooms the other day, the mushroom spirit came through me and was like, you know all those women that you've been in love with who tore your heart out? Like, yeah. It's like, you are those women.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, you're fucking right. There's no difference. And I lost my mind. And then then the mushroom spirit told me too, like, until I can fuck myself properly. Like, the woman in me, that I have no right being with other women. You know?
Right.
Or having sex with other women, really.
Right.
Yeah, so that's like the metaphysical, spiritual reason. I also want to make boatloads of cash on my own that I can do in an hour. You know, because I've never had that experience before. Like stupid money, like 10K, 12K, boop. In the bank. Thank you. Couple hours. See you.
Yeah.
100K. Bam. Give me $500,000. Boom.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to see me and other women like me who have made that kind of money, and you've realized something through that about just women in general and being able to receive from men.
There you go.
Women being able to receive from men. You've seen through me making boatloads of money so quickly and easily, just having a number in my head and then getting it the next day. That happening. And you've seen that it happens because I am a woman and I'm receiving.
It's literally because you're a woman.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, ain't nobody giving you money because you're a man. They're not like, congratulations, you have a penis. Fuck out of here, dude. The only way a man gonna make money, you know, is if he hustling, bruh.
What does this mean? Are you
You're probably not doing very good things.
Are you attracted to men? Does it turn you on?
Well, no. So, no, I'm not sexually attracted to men. I'm really not. It's weird. This kind of reminds me of when I was younger. I had a job as a PCA, which is a personal care attendant, and you know, I was taking care of this kid who had cerebral palsy, so he was all messed up in a chair. all messed up in a chair and he couldn't move and stuff, and I went to go live with him and wipe his ass and stuff, and shoot, that was like crazy. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So yeah, I have experience doing that, and honestly, this kind of reminds me of that, like going to some retarded person and touching their dick. It's like feels the same way to me. Some idiot, you know.
Some corpo guy.
That's what it feels like, yeah. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find, you know, make it kinky, make it hot, just make it that way, you know.
Right, because you are.
Yeah.
You are it in yourself. You are attractive and fun and all of those things, so you can make it any situation fun, and wherever you are, whoever you're with. That's the ultimate goal when it comes to sex and intimacy, is you can do it with anyone, and it's no different doing it with someone you're attracted to versus someone you're not. Like it's you can experience pleasure both ways in your body. You can have an orgasm, like you create the orgasm in your body. You don't depend on anyone else to do that for you.
Yep. You do it your damn self. Yeah, whether you're having sex with your grandmother, with your uncle.
And it doesn't mean you have to have a physical
dog.
ejaculation. When I say orgasm, I also mean it's an energetic experience. You're having an orgasm internally. It doesn't always have to be this crazy, you shoot your bodily fluids across the wall and like it hits the ceiling. Like,
What, me?
Just anyone.
Oh.
Just any man or woman. Like there's a lot of oh, like orgasm, that means I have to do this XYZ thing, like they show in porn, like, oh, it shoots all the way across the room and splashes them in the face. Like, that's I've had so many orgasms, and a lot of them are just in my body. I feel it, and nothing comes out of me. Maybe some things come out, but it doesn't squirt out, basically. So
I have no idea why we're talking about this.
Well, we're talking about this because I was saying something about how you can feel pleasure with anyone, no matter what they look like.
Oh.
And I started talking about orgasms, and then I just wanted to correct myself. So back to you.
Back to me?
Back to you.
What do you want back to me?
Just back to where we were. The last thing I said was that you can have an orgasm no matter who you're with, and that can also mean an internal orgasm. Doesn't have to be physical ejaculation. It's just having a good feeling in your body that feels pleasurable. That's it.
Yeah, I was also being shown by the mushrooms how to properly have sexual pleasure when you're masturbating too. I'm masturbating. And it involves a lot of breathing, actually. And it's not easy, it's hard. To actually have your full body open up and feel sexual pleasure in an actual, like, Kundalini way. A full body way, not just your dick. So, yeah. Is that it? Oh, now I can ask you. So how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it?
Well, first of all, do you feel like I have communicated my perspective enough?
Yeah.
On it?
Yeah, you've shared with me why you're doing it, and I understand it. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, absolutely. You're doing this. I already know you because we've been together for almost 4 years now. And so I know the way you work, and I know that you're very experimental, and you like doing things in order to grow. You want to push your edges and find out what's on the other side. I'm very similar to you in that way. That's why we're so amazing together. And so I can understand that. I'm like, that's awesome. if you were like, no, I'm going to be a woman officially forever, you know, then that would be a whole another situations. Like, but I know you're doing this, you're exploring, and you want to be more comfortable with other men. You don't want to have that competition with men. And
Well, it's like Neo
That's
from the
amazing.
Matrix.
yeah, like Neo from the Matrix.
I told you this in the car.
Oh.
When Morpheus tells Neo that, you know, when I forget what exactly he said, but when you figure it out, bud, you're not even gonna have to fight people anymore. Like, he actually said you won't have to dodge bullets. You know, because Neo's like, how do I dodge those bullets? She's like, when you start to believe, you won't have to. And what that basically means is, like, you realize you wake up on a meta level and you realize that you're playing a game with other people. It's a fucking game. You're playing a game and it's a stupid game. Or unless you like it, that's fine, but you have a choice and you can just walk away from the game. You can be like, I'm not playing this game, bro. I'm gonna play a different game. Just the whole thing, meta, just throw it out. There, no more fighting. Done. In my new game, we don't fight.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are 3 energies of movement in the primal universe. Fuck, fight, or flee. Pick one. So are you gonna, you know, be right? Try to, you know, whatever, that shit. Boom, boom, and no, I said no to that. I'm not gonna run away from life and from people, so guess what? There's only one more. So that's what's going on in my head.
Yeah.
And it's pretty radical, but it feels radical to me. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are like, no, it makes sense to me. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me as a woman, I have always felt that men who are comfortable with other men, whether they're comfortable with snuggling, anything, any sort of physical intimacy with other men, they're more pleasant to be around. And they're just more pleasant to be around. That's all I have to say. You can feel that the underlying tension, the sexual tension is not strong as it would be with a heterosexual man. He's not trying to fight all the other men. It's definitely a different feeling, it's a different experience, and it feels better. I can say that 100% after I've worked with thousands of men as a sex worker. And so I can tell you, as a matter of fact, that all of my clients that I've really loved the most were bisexual, especially when it came to sex. The way that they touched my body felt better. They were more considerate, they were more slow and present with me. That's just a pattern that I've noticed over hundreds and hundreds of sessions with men, all different kinds of men. So
Bisexual ones are better.
yeah, they know something about the feminine energy that the other men usually don't, or they just don't care to know. They don't want to figure it out. You know, they just want to be what they're programmed to be, the heterosexual men. And just men who are comfortable, even if they've never hooked up. As for my clients, the guys who have shared with me that they've never even been sexual with men, some of them, but they, you know, they might watch porn where there's multiple men and women, and so they're trying to integrate with it in themselves. Even if they've gotten that far, it's still better to connect with them than a man that has not explored that side of himself at all. And he's absolutely resistant to it.
He is fragile. He is fragile.
Fragile, yeah.
He has a very fragile ego.
It's fragile and it's annoying. It's really frustrating to be around men with fragile egos because you constantly have to feel like you're trying to soothe that, oh, I gotta watch out, oh, like they're gonna get into a fight, oh, like everything is about him and his fragile ego. And it's frustrating. Nobody wants to be around that. And he knows that too. That's why he gets more mad. And he perpetuates that, cycle of anger inside of him. Anyways.
I know all about it.
If men can just have a connection with other men, can you sustain eye contact? Can you give a long hug? Just those little things make a huge difference. You don't have to have sex,
Can you take his monster cock in your ass?
If you wanna go to that extent, that's even better. That's awesome. But if you can just get to the point where you can have intimacy in some way with men when it comes to physical touch, that is a big step. And I think every man should experience that and should practice that. Most women do it. Every time I see women, like female friends, they're always touching each other, hugging, like playing, taking pictures. It's very much intimate in some way or another. I don't really see that when it comes to men. Not very often, unless you're in a very specific kind of environment. But most men don't do that with their friends.
Right. So for you, I want to know, what's that like for you? Because one of my biggest fears of like really stepping into this new deal is, any girlfriend wouldn't be okay with it, and she'd be like, okay, you are lower on my totem pole, not higher now.
You fear that I see you as lower now?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Actually, I agree with you in the reason why you're doing it in the first place is because you want to abolish that competitive nature within you when it comes to other men, especially around other women. That fighting kind of thing. And that's really how I see you accomplish that, is through going into the thing that you're most afraid of, the thing that you're most resistant to, and instead of going farther away from it, is going into it.
The treasure you seek most hides in the cave you fear most.
Yeah, it's in there. And you know what? Life is, we have this one life, and we should challenge ourselves in every way we possibly can. Everything that you think and you fantasize about, you visualize, you have dreams about, you should create that in your reality. You shouldn't go your whole life wishing and wondering if you could do that, or, oh, now I'm fantasizing about it, but it'll never happen. No, that's terrible. And we shouldn't live our life wondering and wishing. We should actually do it and see for ourselves. And that's what makes a leader. And we are leaders, and that's the path that we've taken in life, is to be leaders. So you, as a leader, you have to start it. You have to do the thing that a lot of people are most afraid of doing.
Which is what?
Anything that you are passionate about, that you see, you want this change to happen in the world, right? You have a vision and you want to see this change take place in the world and amongst people. And you're so frustrated about it. You're like, why don't people get this? Why can't people change and wake up? Well, it's like, you got to do that first. You got to be the change you want to see in the world, right? Like that old famous quote. Plastered over in classrooms and stuff. So, yes, you do have to be the change first. You have to take the initiative, take the first step, and show people that it's possible. And you did it, and your life changed for the better. So, hey, here's the key to
How'd you do it?
this door. What?
How'd you do it?
How did I do it? In what? With what?
What you just
With
said?
this stuff hanging out of your nose.
Cool. That's what you just said.
How have I taken the initiative?
Yeah.
Well, one way I've taken the initiative was I didn't want to be shy and afraid of myself and around men. I was very shy and timid when it came to men. I didn't understand. I had a hard time getting into relationships with men. I was always chasing. I was chasing all the men and I didn't get it. For most of my life I didn't get it until I decided like I'm going to get into sex work. I'm going to actually go into sex work to figure out how I can gain more confidence in myself, in my sexuality, and learn. So I got into sex work, I got into Tantra, and I healed in myself so that I could. And I kept going in sex work. I was like going through the levels of sex work, you know, stripping, Tantra, escorting, you know. I was like, I want to keep trying all these other things. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to get over my fear. I had fear of men, for my father. So all this stuff.
Fear of dicks.
Fear fear of that, oh, like if I do one little thing that a guy doesn't like, he's going to pull out a gun and shoot, because that's what my dad did. So when it came to sex, that thing would come up and I would always feel like, oh, I gave more than I wanted to give. I felt taken advantage of, all these things. Sex work helped me heal that inside of me, become more powerful in my voice and what I want, and get what I want. Don't be left empty-handed, so to say.
Mm.
So I took the initiative and I received so much. I got hundreds, like millions of dollars at this point in the course of a few years. I got a house, a huge house. I got all these things just because I let go of that fear I was holding on to.
Can you move up?
Yeah.
That's way better. Hey, now you're in the shot. That's funny. I was in front of you the whole time. So you learned.
I learned, and I was able to receive and have the things that I wanted. I wanted this big, beautiful house in Southern California. I got it. I got all this money. I got to get things that I never could have gotten before. And all this stuff came from me just getting over my fear. And so for me personally, that's what I did to get over my fear. So I took the initiative in my life in that way. Yep.
Yay.
Yay.
So I just tried on her dress
Should have took a picture.
today. We should have, honestly, but
You're
whatever.
like one of those buff
You know what?
girls.
No, I'll no. I'll do it. You know, after I see the narrow, you know, I'll start being more open about it on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it without that though.
See results.
Yeah, I want to see some results.
So the long-term goal of this is to what? What is like the ultimate outcome from all of this stuff that you're doing? You're like, you know, putting on dresses, like doing your makeup, like
The ultimate?
having sex with men. Yeah.
I want a fucking orgy. 24 hours a day, bitch. I'll fucking eat, sleep, and live at the orgy. What do you mean? You know, I want to fuck everybody. Okay, fucking everybody. But and I really just want to fuck hot girls. Like that's the youngest version of me. The chorist just wants to be in love with beautiful women. But I don't have a bunch of dough to artificially create that, and I'm not a douchebag, so I'm not going to take advantage of people to get money to do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I committed my life to truth like fucking Neo, and I'm gonna do it the true way, you know, the honest way.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you want there to be an orgy at your house all the time, then you better be a really fun fucking person who's got no insecurities. Literally none.
Mm.
You know, and these I'm gonna say really quick, because I've lived with these mofos. I've helped them with their dumb Hollywood shit, their scam. Anyway, these dumb mofos, they are not secure. They are not secure. They are literally, what happens when you have all that, all those people, you know, all that power, all that money, is you become like about as hard as an eggshell.
Mm.
Yeah, that your ego is like very penetrable. And wow, it's so hard to be around those guys because they're the biggest fucking babies. Like, you have to walk on tip. Like, everyone was scared when we were living there trying to help this dude. And I've seen this over and over.
Yeah.
But people try to spin it. People try to spin it though, like it is respect. Like, oh, he just commands respect. It's like, no, he's fragile. You know, if you say the thing you're thinking, that he'll blow up and he'll throw you out. That's not respect. He's fucking fragile. He's like a little baby.
You're walking on eggshells when you're around him. If you're walking on eggshells around anyone, that means they're fragile. And if you feel like you can't say certain things, otherwise, oh, they're gonna freak out, and oh, you're not gonna be able to come over anymore. You're not allowed there.
Yeah. And if I was ever like, yo, Ty, why don't you, oh shit, I said his name, whatever. Yo, why don't you throw me one of those Instagram models over there? We'll have like a foursome. Let's go, bud. Would have been end of my job. End. That's it. You're gone. I don't know. That's what's going on in these guys' world. See, that's the problem too. When you jump the gun and you just go straight for the dough, it can really be the end of your life because you never grow.
Yeah.
If you go too soon for the dough, then you never grow.
Yeah. Yeah, if that's the only reason behind what you're doing is only for money, then you're gonna miss out on a lot of things that you need to know, a lot of learning experiences. And you know what? They're gonna catch up to you because later on you're gonna be smacked in the face by it, and it's gonna suck. So maybe you have all this money, but eventually you're gonna have to grow and learn. So you're gonna have all this. You're gonna be up here on top of the hill, and then it's gonna come crashing down at some point. So what we do is we start here at the bottom, and then we build up.
Yeah, that's the hard one.
That's the hard thing to do, but it's long term. It's more fulfilling for the long term. It's not a short term strategy.
Yep. Another long term strategy is we got to get a monitor for this camera.
Yeah, so we're not looking over here.
That's a long term strategy.
We're looking at ourselves over here. We're trying to get a monitor right in front of our camera. So
it's hard. Anyway, yeah, whatever, man. So I'm sick of it. And I like things in my butt. It feels good. Most people do. It's a nice thing when you like it, you know, when you relax.
You just got black stuff on your nose.
I don't care. That's it.
Look at how handsome you are.
Yeah, I think that's it. I just want to be in love with people, but I notice like I would notice that every time I would fall in love with someone, that what ruined it every time was the other guy. Oh, we can't be together. Other guy. You know, like, now we're fighting. Other guy. What's with the guys?
It's between the two guys now. You know, like you've told me stories about where you were at a festival and then like, oh, you were attracted to the same girl another guy was. The same girl that another guy was attracted to, and so now, oh, only one of us can be with her. It's like, now you guys are fighting over this one girl when there's like 20 other girls. It's like
I've been with these two dudes that actually let me play with their wife. They were being manipulative, but so what? They still let me play with her vagina, okay? And no, I didn't do it like that. I was more like, and
we're like this.
wait. Oh, there was two dudes that did that. They were trying to come off like they weren't doing the competition thing, but they ultimately were. They were like, oh, because I'm sharing you, letting my wife share herself with you, that makes me a woke god and I'm the shit. And look at me, give me stuff, give me awards. And it's like, okay, well, how about me and you like cuddle or something? Nope. Why not? It's getting tense in here. It's getting kind of weird. It's like me and your wife all the time.
Right.
And you,
Yeah,
and then I hear
and-
from
and
her
I-
that you said you weren't even okay with it. You were nervous about it, and you're okay. Guess what? One of those relationships, and I'll let you go. One of those relationships. One of those relationships. Guess where it went? Like their marriage. What do you think?
Divorce.
Massive explosion.
Mm.
Massive explosion. I thought he was cool, but whatever. And then the other dude, no, they haven't gotten divorced yet. I mean, we'll see though. They got a lot more money, so it's harder to get divorced when you got a lot more money.
Mm.
You're more like planted in your reality with that shit, especially when you're dependent on each other. Well, she's dependent on you. I ain't gonna get into it, whatever, dude.
Yeah, the guy well, you were talking about how there was this guy that let you, have sex or be intimate with his wife on multiple different with a couple different couples that happened to you.
Mm.
That same experience. And yeah, and then the guy was never
No, as soon as I found out I was a Hollywood videographer. Before that, no.
But the guy said that you could be intimate with his wife was never around. He just so ironically happened to be like never. He's always busy. I'm busy. I'm too busy to hang out with you guys. I'm too busy to talk. I'm
Yep. Too busy to
when
get
in-
with
when
reality.
In fact, he's never busy at all. He like when he wanted to be around, when there was lots of girls around, he'd be there. But if there were like any guys that were being sexual with his wife, he didn't really want to be there.
Nope, unless he literally walked. First of all, the motherfucker didn't even knock. What if I don't want you to see me? What I'm just weird. I don't know you. You know what I mean? Anyway, so he just walks in. This is after him treating me like a stranger. It's weird now. It's like, bro, don't treat me like a stranger and then walk in on me and your wife having sex. What are you doing?
That's
Or
weird,
or being sexual. Yeah.
yeah, it was like he's claiming his authority.
That's
like,
what it
I
was.
can just walk.
And he walked over and he was like, bye, babe. And then he like just talked to her, just made eye contact with her, and then pieced the fuck out, basically. I'm like, that was fucking rude. Obviously, it's obvious what
Yeah,
it was.
he wanted you to remember that he's watching. Like he could just walk in the room, so you better not do anything.
Dude was a huge dick. I'm like, you're a fucking jack off, dude. Get me the
Wow.
fuck out of here.
How manipulative!
You're an idiot.
He tells you that you can do that, and then he very what's the word that I'm looking for? Passive aggressively walks in.
Yo, he walked into us in the middle of it. Like, what? Who does that? What are you doing? Like, you okay with it or not okay with it? Like, what do you're interrupting it? Like, I found out later too, they're the ones that have rules about interrupting people's sessions. Alright, so you're gonna break the rule. Yeah, they're both doing all. I can't stand it. I just can't stand. I don't even want to go over those memories because they are so. I should have never been there. But I didn't know. I didn't know these things. That's why we're doing this, honestly, so other people be like, shit, let me watch out. Fuck. You be careful of people.
You got to be careful because people will say one thing, but then their actions will show you something else. So you have to be really cautious. Just because someone says something doesn't mean that that it is okay in their head. They want it to be okay, but a lot of the times people are not ready for it to be that way.
No, they wanted my shit. They wanted me to do the Hollywood fucking poof, there it is thing for them. Get out of here, dude.
Yeah, because you ended up doing video work for his company, and
Yeah.
then you ended up doing video work for her business.
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
Then they were giving you a room to sleep.
That's all I wanted.
In their house, and
then she's like, if you keep doing this, I'll fuck you. I'll fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you in 6 months. I'm gonna fuck you. She first said fuck you in 3. It's like, all right, that's a little weird, but whatever. Then she's like, actually fuck you in 6. Then she's like, actually fuck you in 9. I was like, actually fuck you, and I walked out.
That's crazy.
And now she's like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking narcissist. He's a sociopath. He's dangerous.
Yeah, and now and then they put it back on you that you're the crazy person. It's like, no, you're just upset that someone told you to F off and that you're wrong because they have a huge issue with being wrong.
Right.
They cannot just say, yes,
because they're fragile.
I was wrong. I did something that wasn't ethical, wasn't okay. I shouldn't have done that. I should have talked to you. You know, they will take it to their dying grave with them that they were the ones that were right and nothing they ever did was wrong. And not even take responsibility for one little thing, just at least one time.
I'll take responsibility. My responsibility, was that I was a broke ass mofo back then. Because I just quit my job with Ty. Because I was like, Ty, I'm not doing this anymore. For you, but just metaphorically, honestly, now I'd rather actually do this than what I fucking did with him as a boss. Any boss.
Working all day, all night.
Prostituting your creativity is what I call it now.
Grueling hours upon hours.
That's your time too, man. You don't get that time back. Okay, and it's never good enough for them, is it? Nope, you're fragile. You gotta go. Sorry. What was I just saying? Damn, I went on a rant. What did I say right before that?
You said you were going like this. I was doing this with.
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
Oh, because I had just quit Ty's thing, so I didn't have any money. And because I didn't have any money, this rich guy and his Ferrari of a wife, according to him, they, knew that was a power play right there. They're like, all right, we'll hook you up. We'll give you just enough to get by. You can play with my wife's ass, and that's really nice. But I should have just started. I should have seen the red flags. There were a lot of red flags.
Yeah, so you're taking responsibility for, seeing red flags, but not. You were too vulnerable in a position of vulnerability, not having money and stuff to really say no.
Yeah, because if I was anyway, if I was dressing like a girl back then and doing all this and I had my own cash, obviously own cash, own place, boom, just that alone would be just not even the same thing. Own cash, own place, and I'm banging dudes. That's fine. So I got no beef with dudes. I'm like, whatever. I probably would have saw it more clearly for him. Like, oh, he's clearly got something going on.
He's got something.
There's an issue.
You wouldn't have thought twice.
That ain't me.
It. You'd be like, nope, that's you.
That is you. Yep. Yeah, and then also
you thought he was better when you were there with them. You thought he was some god too for a while.
It's the money.
Yeah.
Because he's got.
You're like,
dough.
he could walk in the room like that. Oh my gosh, that he's amazing. That's what you did think for a while. about the situation. You're like, he just walked in.
Oh yeah, because I was just starstruck by the whole idea that this dude is willingly sharing his wife
When
with
in
you.
reality, he's being an asshole. He's being a passive
being an
aggressive douchebag, and he's trying to claim his authority by walking in the room. But you didn't see that in the moment. You thought he was some, oh man, this guy is something else. You know, he lets his wife do this with other men, and he could just walk in the room and see it. Yeah.
I mean, what if I just stormed into the room when you were with someone?
Unless we had agreed with each other that's cool with me and you, like I talk to you and I'm like, yeah, you can walk in the room. I don't see. I would still feel weird if the person that I'm connecting with didn't know that you were allowed to just walk in the room. I think that would be weird for them. But
Well, it would be.
it would be. So it is pretty inconsiderate.
How many people would get upset right now? What if you were hooking up with some chick or some dude and they came over to see you for a date and then I fucking walk in the room? What? And you're naked and stuff or whatever. You know, you know what I mean?
Right, it's a polyamorous situation, but like it doesn't matter if it's polyamorous or whatever it is.
That's rude.
It is rude, and if everyone is not in consent of that happening, that's in the bedroom.
They would never come over ever again. I've had women cut me off for way less bad of reasons than that.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm never seeing you ever again. You're a creep.
So it was clear that it was fine between Roxanne, or I didn't mean to say that. But it was Roxudi Pootie.
They don't know. It's still anonymous.
Anonymous.
If somebody, yeah, whatever, dude. If somebody knows her, show this video. I mean, we didn't break any laws. We didn't say they don't know last name. We're not giving any identification.
No, there's no identification.
No,
here.
so it's anonymous. So fuck you. And then also, if you have a problem with what we're saying, you can go show this to that person, and you know, they can deal with it.
I'm usually really good at not saying names, so yeah. I like to keep the names out of it. Anyways, so what was I saying? It was clear that both of them, that couple, was okay with that happening between them, but they weren't being considerate of you because you were another person in the room that wasn't in consent of that happening. So that's all. That's all I gotta say. So they were being rude to you. But they didn't respect you.
What does that have to do with me dressing like a girl?
I don't know why we got into this conversation, but it came
Well, because we bitch about it all the time. Because it's a fucking bane of our existence that people like this exist. I don't like that people like this exist. I just don't.
The reason why we brought that up is to just prove a point that men, even if they say, oh, you can have sex with my wife, like you can do X, Y, and Z, it doesn't mean that they're some god and that they have some golden ticket to the chocolate factory just because they said that they're okay with it. But then their behavior shows something different. So that was just an example of something
how it relates to me dressing like a girl is because I was going to say this, and I hope men can take something from this. Like, it's real shit. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to show you guys that I got heat. There's heat with people. It's like fucking scary. Like, honestly, I've thought about getting attacked. Like, there's some real hate vibes going around. It's pretty ghetto fucking around here, actually, for fucking California. It's pretty, you know, upscale California. It's pretty ghetto. There's a lot of hate, a lot of bullshit going on around here. And anyway, how does that relate to me dressing like a girl? Because if I was dressing like a girl, I would have not been so goddamn needy. That's what. If I was having my own connections and stuff.
The neediness, the
I wouldn't have fallen for it.
Yeah, and you would have saw, like we said earlier, you just would have seen through people's bullshit more clearly, especially men.
Yeah, and also if I was making my own money and I'm going on my own dates with women that I want to do, you know, paid for or not, I would have seen through the woman's fucking BS too and her little charade.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten hooked into it.
So what I'm saying, basically what I'm saying to the boys here is and to myself is like, you're stupid. And the more heterosexual you are, actually the more stupid you are. And the more fragile your ego is. And when you're like that, you're actually really desperate and you're really easy to manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
And people will do that. They will do that to you.
Yep.
And it's funny too, because the people in question were supporters of bisexuality and stuff, so like openly. So they're kind of like on the other side of the fence. Well, she was. And then she's using that to kind of manipulate other people who are not quite over yet.
And a lot of those people that were like LGBTQ in that community specifically were actually a lot of the women who were all, LGBTQ were actually like really scared of men. And that's just something that we noticed. I know we talked about that before. I wasn't really coming from a genuine, like, no, I just support that movement. I am bisexual. Like, I support people being open about their sexuality. It was more like a rebellious, an act of rebellion of like, we hate men. And like, it's just kind of, I don't know. It had that energy behind it.
That is the energy. See, but no. See, the difference between love and hate is like those people who, like, I'm gonna be a lesbian now because fuck guys. Okay, you're an idiot now. You're stupid now, is what you are, because you're creating more separation. You're creating more separation. It's hate. It's an act of hate. Okay, or you're like, I've done the work to love men, and now I want to do the work to love women. Okay, that's love. That's not hate. You're not an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do the work to love men where they're at right now. There's men, they're assholes or pigs, whatever, like you want to call them. Like, love that part of them too, and be like, yeah, that's where men are at in our society right now. And instead of wanting to slit them at the throat, how can I have more just understanding and empathy for men and why they are the way they are instead of just attacking them? I can say gladly that I've done the work to have empathy for men instead of being an angry bitch and being like, all men are assholes and it's all men's fault. Everything they do, it's all their fault. Everything bad that happens, it's their fault. I think that's messed up. Taking responsibility and like having understanding for everything as a whole is important.
All right. Yeah, people are not nice right now. I'm not giving up though. I'm kind of like Elon in that way, because it's not looking good. But he's like, you know what? We're gonna keep going.
We're gonna keep on trucking.
Yeah, because like I said, my destination, my ultimate fantasy before I die, is the orgy. Just community. I want to live in a cult, according to one of our other people we know. No, just live on land. We already had all, but like, how many acres? 10 acres
100
on a
acre
freaking
woods.
island in New Zealand.
100-acre woods, like Winnie the Pooh.
Our house there, their house there, their house there. You know what I mean? We have like festivals every year. We're meeting new people. We're cohabitating. We're raising kids together. That's what it is.
Everyone is doing something to contribute to society. They're helping the world. They're change makers. They're just powerful people, power couples. and power couples that want to live in a harmonious environment with other people.
Mhm.
A harmonious environment with other human beings and to be connected to them, to be able to have intimate and sexual connections with them, and everyone's happy. Everyone loves their life. They can communicate properly with each other, and it's a by doing that, by creating a environment and a community like that, it's sending out a message into the whole world that it's possible, that this is the way it should be. We should be living in villages and tribes because that's when we feel most fulfilled.
Well, with certain things, you get something from traveling too.
Traveling, well, it doesn't mean you can't travel. Just because you live somewhere doesn't mean you can't go traveling too.
Mm. Yep.
Not like, oh, you're a part of this community or whatever, now you can't go anywhere. It's like, no, that's the opposite of what it is. You do whatever you want. It's like, but like, this is family, this is home base, this is where you can always come back and feel safe and connected, just like when you go see your family.
Right.
Better than that. A lot more fun and sexy.
Let's do it. Whoa. Whoa. It's 11:30. I'm tired. Oh, I'm really tired. I think I'm gonna get off. I'm worn the fuck out. So like I don't have any tolerance. A very low patience. Speaking bluntly, that's fine. But it has a lot to do with this transition being hard. Since we got together, life got really, really hard.
Yeah, we just had to face a lot of challenges together
Yeah.
in regards to sex and relationships and stuff.
We had to face a lot of challenges.
Challenge.
Yeah, and I've had to do stuff, and you've had, well, I have to do stuff right now that I've never seen anybody do. So there's no help. They're like, sorry, I don't know how to help you, sir. You just can't help somebody. This is like the journey of the self, you know. There's no one that can help you through this specific thing. You just got to get through it.
You gotta do it. Nobody's gonna be like, you gotta do this. You have to tell yourself you have to do this. If you want to do it. But like, you gotta be your own cheerleader.
Yeah, so I'm really worn out. And I've been this way for like years, actually, like super worn out. You know, there's just layers of my ego that are just fucking peeling away. So
But
that's exhausting.
Way better than sitting in a cubicle just like Neo in the Matrix and like hating your life and knowing that there's something more to this world, that something isn't right. Just wondering, sitting there every day, going to work over and over, you're miserable, you hate yourself, you have no intimacy, and like, it sucks. Would you rather do that, or would you rather go head on and face first into the shadows, you know, the parts of yourself that are beneath the onion peels?
You said the person's name. You're so funny. But no, what the kicker is, that's actually not even her real name. So nobody can look her up because all these people use aliases. So
I was talking
guess
about
why?
I was talking about that song, you know, I forgot who made it. Roxanne, Roxanne, all you wanna do is party all night. I was just referencing that song. That's no worries. It's not even the real person's name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Highly, highly manipulative people. The world's full of them. The World of Warcraft people just got busted for basically sexually assaulting all the women in their office, you know? To the point of one woman killed herself over it.
Yeah, and that
So-
happened in California. I'm gonna let you guys if anyone has a fantasy about California that it's some amazing perfect place, I'm gonna let you know a lot of dark things happen in California. So not just this isn't the first story. There's a lot of things. We can make another video about that though.
Right. End? We need a monitor.
Mm,
And to end.
mm, mm, mm.
Goodbye.